Hi, welcome to my allotment update. We're in the middle of another heat wave and I've come down to my allotment early to water and just check on things. I've been coming down twice a day to give everything, well, especially in pots. My tomatoes have really been suffering, so I've been coming down early in the morning and later in the evening to water, as has many people on the allotments. So let me show you what's been going on and how I am also protecting my crops and my plants from this intense heat. Well, firstly, what I've noticed is that some plants cope a lot better with the heat than others. My Astrantia is really suffering. Snapdragons are suffering. They need more water than other plants. My beans have needed a lot more water than I thought they would need. So let me show you around what I've been, well, what's changed for a start. So we've got this beautiful pink yarrow come out. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love it with the red poppies and with the hops behind it. I think it looks really lovely. A friend gave me some dahlias, which I've popped in, some hyssop, and I've just forgotten the name of this, agastache, is that right? Which should make beautiful yellow flowers which the bees really love. The wild rose that my friend gave me is coming along strong. It's put on loads of new growth. I've been making sure to water all the plants I've just been putting in recently. Been watering them more than I do the other plants because they need help in this heat to establish. I'm really happy with this border. As you may remember, I did tons of weeding in here because last year I sowed wildflower seeds and loads of them self-seeded, including way too many wild carrot, which I think is really beautiful, and obviously the insects love it, but I didn't want a whole border of them, so I took a lot of them out, as well as lots of perennial weeds, which just stop the plants. Sort of they compete too much with the plants that I want to grow. So the sweet William's doing well. I transplanted that took a little while to come round, but it's around now. I've got a little Astrantia in there, which will be lovely next year. I'll probably just need to try and thin the plants around it to give it a bit more room. Behind here, I'm still trying to decide what to do with these slabs that I took up. A friend wants them, and I just need to double check with my son again whether he wants them. I think they might want a few, but that's by the by. Soon that bit will be cleared. I got some more sand and I'm just putting more and more sand down whenever I can get a couple of bags to increase the depth here, so that it's more fun to play with for young children and adults as well. It's really nice to play with sand, and it's lovely to walk on, because like I said before, I don't ever get anywhere. I've not been to a beach since 2018, so having that feel of sand under my feet is really lovely, especially, well, barefoot obviously. I put up some more shading here, and I've rejigged the camo net. I just need somebody to help me with some of the higher points on the roof to get that bit up there in the corner, because I'm not great with ladders and climbing up and all that sort of stuff, so I've done the best I can, but I'm very happy with it. And I'm going to put some more bamboo split screen along there as well. These boards are extra fascia boards to go underneath the ones already up, to strengthen the shelter, as well as provide a flat, well, a horizontal place that I can put tarpaulins up when it rains, because there's obviously quite a big slope on the roof, and if I try and drape anything from the sides now, it'll not hang properly and it'll look silly, so I think an extra lot of fascia boards along there would really help. I want it to look nice and smart. Yes, aesthetics is important to me. As I mentioned, I'm a trained 3D designer and jeweller, and this is my expression of my craft. I guess I've also trained to do garden design, but these skills unfortunately are largely reserved for people that can afford to set themselves up in small business, so they're not really accessible to people without investment. So I do the best I can to keep my skills fresh and to keep learning and to keep working. I had my first cool dip yesterday, which was absolutely fantastic. Really, really lovely. I didn't even have to top it up with any water from the solar shower at all. The water got really warm. It was so warm yesterday. So to come down in the evening and have a cool dip was absolutely wonderful. Many of my friends do this as well, because I don't want to be driving out. Well, I haven't got a car and I can't drive out to anywhere to swim, and I can't afford swimming pools or anything like that, so this is the next best thing. And I wish more people would do it to reduce their carbon footprint, and get to know local people, because I feel like our society is so fractured at the moment, and especially between people who have resources and don't, and it's just getting wider and wider. And I think allotments are a perfect space for people of all income groups to come together, but at the moment it's largely skewed towards people who do have more resources anyway, which I'm trying to change that. Like I said, I want to try and do a social enterprise on here, and I had a really lovely chat the other day with somebody from the doctor's surgery for social prescribing, and I think that might be a really, really good first step to try and give me the confidence to host small groups on here, with the view to setting up a small social enterprise to make this plot into a community building plot, learning. There's so many people that have got really incredible knowledge and skills that are out of work or been made redundant early. So I would really love this spot to be a place where people can just carry on learning, and where people who have lost their jobs through ill health or redundancy to be able to carry on sharing their knowledge and skills, and helping us all to learn to debate, to learn to be more tolerant. That would be excellent to break the spell of ignorance and hatred. That would be fantastic. I know I've mentioned before, but I'm originally from South Africa. I grew up during apartheid. I know how ugly it is. I know how it twists people up, and yeah, certainly don't want anything like that happening here. There's absolutely no need for it. It only benefits the billionaires, does not benefit anyone else. So yeah, that's my little, and that's also why I call my channel Practical Skills for Future Space Colonists, because yeah, I don't think there's any necessity for any of that, because we live on a beautiful planet and we're totally perfectly evolved to live here and to live amongst, to be part of it, and there's absolutely no need to go and rape and pillage other planets, not at all. So this beautiful holly tree is getting lots of little berries on it. They're green at the moment. Soon they will be red, and there will be a big feast for the birds. around here. Like I said, this dead hedge works really well. I'm often taking things out of it as well when I need them, bits of wood and all sorts, so it's a really useful little resource, much better than burning it. I need to start, well, I've started collecting blackcurrants already. I'm going to do it when it's a little bit cooler. They're not all ready. Quite a few people's blackcurrants are ready, but because I'm further down the hill and on and a bit of a frost pocket, things are a bit later down here. So I'm not too desperate to get them all off now. There are some ripe ones, but they're mostly not very ripe. Let's see, all the clover's flowering, which makes the birds really happy. And I do gather some seeds and sow them on my lawn, because I like to have a mixture of lawn and clover seed, so that if I do change the layout, I've already got a nice layer of turf and clover to just lift up, and the soil is really nice and clean and nourished underneath it. Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh, that's a new thing. I wonder when that happened. Wow, okay. So I took the door off my polytunnel because it's a dark coloured door, which is great for winter, but really no good in this heat. So I took it off on my own, which was pretty hair raising, I can tell you. Managed to just drag it over there, but not much further because it's really heavy. But it's definitely helped make this a bit cooler. This chilli plant is already producing some lovely little tiny chilies. Not sure if you can see them. It needs a lot more water than I thought it would need. Aubergines are doing really well. They're just about to start flowering, so I'm hopeful. My Cape gooseberries are doing so much better in here than they did outdoors, like a million times better. But I need to keep an eye on slugs and snails in here, because obviously they love the spot because it's nice and cool and damp. So I have to check under the pots, because they do create quite a lot of damage. That one there is coming through, but it was really damaged by a slug, which I managed to find and chuck over the hedge. So this is my soft fruit cage. You can see there are lots of berries on there, nice fat berries. I haven't been watering them because I think, well, I've been watering everything else but not these, because I think they're pretty established and they don't seem to need any water. My tomatoes are doing really well. They've been flowering for a little while. They do need a lot more water than I thought they'd need. I mean, they're massive plants, so it's not that surprising really. But they've totally flopped a couple of times, which has been really alarming. So I've been watering them twice a day in this heat. I've been trying to remember to water my potatoes really well, because obviously they're really hot in these bags here, these plastic bags. So this Astrantia really was struggling. I had to give it a really good water last night. It was totally flopped down. They don't like it really dry and hot. Well, they don't like the heat, I don't think. So I think the most interesting thing about gardening is to find out what suits your plot, what does well in different weather and what doesn't. And you'd be surprised by what you can learn just by doing things. Obviously you don't always remember and you sort of sometimes make the same mistakes, but just keep going. That's the main thing, because you will eventually learn. Learning is repetition, knowledge is understanding. A lot of what we do is just learning. We don't have to necessarily understand the science, we just have to learn what works and what doesn't work. And that also involves trying new things, not always doing the same things. Obviously if it works, just keep doing it, and if it doesn't, just keep changing what you do until it starts working. This dwarf apple is doing really well. It's put on loads of growth. Really happy with that. I'm actually hoping to get another half plot to put a lot of my fruit trees on at some point. Let's see what else I can show you. So I put a bit of shade netting up here because this is really hot. This is right in the sun. I might have to